Beware. 3 dark manipulation tactics exposed. You know, folks, we talk a lot about healthy relationships, setting boundaries, respecting yourself. But what about when someone else is playing games? What about when someone is trying to manipulate you, to control you, to make you doubt your own mind? That's what we're diving into today, the dark side of human interaction. We're talking about dark psychology, and I don't mean spooky Halloween stuff. I'm talking about those manipulative tactics that exploit your emotions, your vulnerabilities, to get what they want. Experts define it as using psychological principles to manipulate, influence, or control people in harmful ways. That's straight from psychcentral.com, and it's a real problem. Today, we're going to expose 3 of the most powerful, most dangerous tactics: gaslighting, love bombing, and emotional blackmail. We'll break each one down, give you clear examples, show you how to recognize them, and most importantly, how to protect yourself. Knowledge is power, folks. And by understanding these tactics, you can take back your power and build healthy, respectful relationships. Let's talk about gaslighting. It's a classic mind game, folks, and it can leave you feeling like you're going crazy. Imagine this. You remember a conversation, a promise, an event, but the other person, they deny it ever happened. They tell you, you're imagining things, you're too sensitive, you're making this up. They chip away at your reality, make you question your own memory, your sanity. Now, gaslighting doesn't happen overnight. It's insidious, it's gradual. It's like a slow drip of poison that seeps into your mind, making you doubt yourself. Psychologists will tell you it's about twisting your sense of reality to control you. And the more you start to doubt yourself, the more you rely on the gaslighter for validation. It's a vicious cycle, folks. Medical news. Today, they've done the research and they explain how gaslighting breaks down a person's trust in themselves, making them dependent on the abuser. You see, the abuser thrives on that power, that control. They want you off balance, questioning your own judgment. And here's the thing about gaslighting: it's a form of emotional abuse. It can leave deep scars, folks. Studies show that prolonged gaslighting can absolutely devastate your self-esteem, lead to anxiety, depression, and a whole host of other issues. Now, gaslighting can be subtle. Maybe your partner forgets important details, denies saying things, or minimizes your feelings. It might start with little things, but over time it can escalate, leaving you feeling trapped and confused. So how do you fight back? First off, trust your gut. If something feels off, it probably is. Document, write down conversations, keep a journal of events, dates, times, specifics. This creates a record you can refer back to if you start to doubt yourself. And here's the most important thing: seek an outside perspective. Talk to a trusted friend, a family member, a therapist. They can help you see the situation more clearly and remind you that your feelings are valid. Remember, you are not alone and you don't have to go through this alone. Now let's talk about love bombing. It might sound nice, even flattering at first. I mean, who doesn't like to be showered with affection, right? But here's the catch. Love bombing is about control disguised as adoration. Imagine this. You meet someone new and they're over-the-top charming, attentive, showering you with compliments, gifts, extravagant gestures. It feels amazing, intoxicating even. You think you've hit the jackpot, found the one. But here's the thing, folks. Real love grows slowly, organically. It's built on trust, respect, shared experiences. Love bombing is rushed, intense, and ultimately unsustainable. And why is that? Because it's not about genuine affection. It's about creating a dynamic where the love bomber holds all the cards. Psych Central, they've got a lot to say about this. And they explain how love bombers use excessive adoration to make you dependent on them. They want you hooked on that high, that feeling of being worshipped. But here's the real kicker. Once they feel like they've got you, the love bomber often pulls back. The compliments dry up, the attention fades, the gifts become less frequent. You're left wondering what you did wrong, how to get back to that initial high. And that's exactly what they want. They want you feeling insecure, questioning yourself, desperate to please them, to get back that rush of affection. Here's an example. Imagine you're dating someone new, and after a whirlwind romance, they suddenly become critical, distant, or withdraw affection if you don't meet their every expectation. They might even make you feel guilty, like you don't deserve their love unless you're constantly meeting their needs. One therapist said love bombing can make you feel guilty or ungrateful for wanting anything other than what the bomber demands. That's powerful stuff, folks. Here's the bottom line. Love bombing is a form of emotional abuse. It's about establishing power and control, not building a healthy, balanced relationship. So, how do you protect yourself? Be wary of too good to be true intensity early on. Real love takes time to develop. Trust your instincts. If something feels off, it probably is. Don't be afraid to set boundaries, to take things slow, to prioritize your own needs and values. And remember, you deserve to be with someone who loves you for you, not for what you can do for them. Chapter 3, Emotional Blackmail. Are you being controlled by guilt? Now, emotional blackmail. This one's all about pressure, folks. It's about using fear, guilt, or obligation to control your actions. It's like holding your emotions hostage to get what they want. Think about it. Now, someone might say, if you really loved me, you'd do this for me. Or if you don't do this, I'll be so disappointed. Or even worse, if you don't do what I want, I'll leave. They dangle your emotions, your vulnerabilities, like a weapon to manipulate you into compliance. Emotional blackmail thrives on making you feel responsible for their emotions. It's about them saying, my happiness, my well-being depends entirely on you doing what I want. And that's a lot of pressure, folks. Here's the thing, no one has the right to control your emotions or actions with guilt trips and threats. Very well, mind, they're a great resource, and they warn that emotional blackmail is all about asserting power and control by manipulating your emotions. It leaves you feeling trapped, anxious, and constantly walking on eggshells. Emotional blackmail can show up in all sorts of relationships, romantic relationships, friendships, even in the workplace. You might have a colleague who says, if you were a real team player, you'd cover my shift. Or a friend who says, if you don't side with me, I won't be your friend anymore. It's about making you feel obligated to put their needs before your own, even if it compromises your values or well-being. Now, here's the thing about emotional blackmail. It's insidious. It can creep into your relationships slowly, making you feel like you're always the one giving in, the one compromising. Over time, it can erode your self-esteem, your sense of self-worth, and your ability to set healthy boundaries. So, how do you fight back? First, recognize it for what it is: manipulation. You have the right to say no, to set boundaries, to prioritize your own needs. Don't let guilt or fear dictate your choices. Second, communicate clearly and assertively. Let the other person know that their tactics are unacceptable and that you won't tolerate being manipulated. And finally, don't be afraid to seek support. Talk to a therapist, a counselor, a trusted friend or family member. They can provide guidance, support, and help you navigate these challenging situations. Remember, you deserve to have relationships built on respect, trust, and genuine care, not fear and obligation. Look, we've covered some heavy stuff today: gaslighting, love bombing, emotional blackmail. These are serious forms of manipulation that can have a devastating impact on your life. But remember this, knowledge is power. By understanding these tactics, you can start to recognize the red flags, set healthy boundaries, and protect yourself from being manipulated. Remember, this information is for you. It's about empowering you to build healthy, respectful relationships and to walk away from those that aren't. If you suspect someone is using these tactics on you, trust your gut. Your feelings are valid. Psych Central recommends educating yourself about manipulation, setting clear boundaries, and trusting your own experiences. Don't be afraid to speak up, to seek support, to do what's right for you. And never forget, using these tactics on others is wrong. It's about power and control, and it can destroy lives. True power comes from building each other up, treating each other with respect, and creating relationships based on honesty and genuine care. So go out there, be kind but firm, and use this knowledge to protect yourself and those you love.